Hey guys, it's Baden here. I don't need to say sorry actually because this is the first time you're watching this, but I actually had filmed this video for about over 25 minutes before, and then the laptop cut off on me, so I I lost all my footage, and that's a bit frustrating. But I'm just gonna go ahead and jump on into this. Um, I'm going to talk about it's a bit of a fresh subject. It's a bit of a touchy subject, but it is a real subject, and I wouldn't have in a million years thought that something like this could ever happen at all. I didn't think it could be real, and for a while, it still hasn't felt real to me, but it is. But my uncle Ian passed away. Ian Cameron uh, passed away last week, late last week, and I didn't see it coming. No one saw it coming. It's still fresh. It still hurts. Uh, there's a lot of family members that are grieving very badly and that are in a lot of pain, including my mother and myself. When I found out, I was very upset. Um, our whole family is completely devastated because of it. But today, I want to talk a bit about Ian. I want to talk a bit about how I feel about him. Being his nephew, and I've kind of looked up to Ian a bit because my mum has always talked about him, and she's always been very proud of him. She's always, you know, always lifted him up and held his name up in a very high regard. And he was always someone to, look up to really because he was the big name of our family. Of course, he was. He was, the celebrity of all of our family. Because no one else wanted to do what Ian was doing. He was the one that was like, you know what, I'm going to go out there, I'm going to make a name for myself, I'm going to do something, I'm, going to make a living off of what I want to do, what I love. And that's what he did. He was a young boy that had ideas, he had dreams, and he had passions, and he wanted to pursue them, and that's exactly what he did. Uh, I remember reading a bit of his book where he talked about with the tape recorders and his mum, Imelda Cameron Sr., who is known as Mama in our family. And I've interviewed her on my channel. You guys may have seen that interview where I'm speaking with Mama about her life and the times and 90 years of living. And I've talked with Mama about Ian, and she'd spoken about how he'd sit down as a young boy with tape recorders and he'd record his voice reading articles or the newspaper, and he would hand them in to places, and there was this guy named Ted. I think it was Ted something. I think it was. This is just off the top of my head. But he said, "My God, Ian, you've got talent." And I'd always remember my mama would say that same story over and over again because she was so proud of Ian. I know she was. Um, you know, Mama's not the type to praise people very much. She's not the type to go, okay, this and that. If she wants to be harsh at you, she will. And that's the kind of person Mama is. She's a very harsh individual at times. And that is not me saying that in a nasty way at all. I'm just saying she's real. She be's as real can be. And that doesn't make her a bad person at all. She's a very lovely person. She's the most loving person you can meet on this earth. And, if she, didn't like the kind of weight shape you were in, or if, she wanted you to kind of clean your act up with something, she'd pull you up over on the side and she'd say, you know what, clean up your act. And that's just the type of person Mama was. But if she was very impressed with you, she would let you know that she was. And it's not easy to impress Mama, but when she notices that someone has something, and that someone is special, and someone means something, she lets you know, and that's that's what Ian, was to her. She would always let you know that Ian was something. He was special, because he was special to a lot of people. He was special to our family. He was special to all of Western Australia. Every morning, his viewers would just be delighted just to tune in and just hear his amazing voice. He's got such a different and unique voice that a lot of people just love to listen to. Even myself, he was my uncle, but it's always great to hear what Ian was doing, and I listened to a few of his final broadcasts, and you know, it's quite sad that this has happened because he was such a special man, and I didn't expect it would be him. I thought when Mum had got the phone call, because my mum was crying a lot, she said, "Is Mama alright? Is Mama alright?" So at the time, I actually thought Mama was the one in trouble. But then she finally told me, and I was like, "Oh, that hurts. That hurts a lot." And it's left a massive scar. It's left a massive hole, a dent in our family, and I'm sure we're all gonna miss him for a very, 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 very long time until the day we die. Uh, and that's the truth. The whole world will, I think. He's just an amazing man. He was always very nice to me at family gatherings when I was a young kid, when I'd visit Ian and Wendy at their place with my mum and father when they were together. Ian was always very nice. He'd always talk to me. He'd always, and I remember a lot, it was Ian and it was Chas. Those were the two men that would always, and Murray. Murray was, and Mal has always been good with me as well. Those are the four guys, the four main guys that would, speak to me a fair bit, when I was at family gatherings and all that. And, yeah, I remember, that because them four, they can be a bit of storytellers, and Ian, of course, is a storyteller because that's what he does. He's on the radio. He talks a lot. So he tell these stories, and I remember when I was younger, I think Ian brought up something about. He told me about how I nearly drowned, and I think it was one of my other uncles had saved me from drowning when I was a kid, and he told me about it because he knew it, and my mum was talking about it as well, and a few people around the table was like, "Really, I nearly died when I was a baby or something." And I'm like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah." And I'm just like, "Oh crap!" Imagine if no one had actually found me in the water. Um, but yeah, he was a great guy. Always very welcoming to me. At family gatherings, you get at times you've got, because in our family we've got a massive family, so there'll be hundreds, literally hundreds of people at these family gatherings, and you know everyone can't stop and say hi because there's hundreds of people. And do you know what? Out of everyone, and I'm not knocking everyone, okay? I'm not knocking our family because I'm not saying no, you didn't bother to do this, that makes you a bad person. It doesn't. But Ian was the person that would always like to try to, at his best, stop by at these family gatherings and at least, if try and say hello to everyone. That's the kind of person he was. And I remember he would sit with my mum a lot at family gatherings, and they'd talk and drink together, and uh, you know she, oh, it was very painful to see my mum so upset that night. Um, that's probably one of the things that got me the most, was the way it affected my mother. Um, and yeah, it was really upsetting to see my mum that hurt and that destroyed by it, and just the thought of him not being here is it's horrible as well. Um, it's just terrible, and just the thought of his family not being with him anymore, and Poor Wendy, she's an awesome woman. There was a day where Ian had to get rushed to the freaking hospital, right? And he was across the road from me at the hospital across the road, and I was like, oh, I wonder if Ian's alright, because I'd heard, he's had issues, ongoing with his health, and just like myself, but um, Ian come over to my hospital. She'd visited me for a bit. This is when I was under the Mental Health Act, because the government had wrongly done to me, and they, she was in there, and she was quite appalled with what was going on, and uh, you know, they've always been very lovely people. During that time, they were from memory, they were the only Cameron family that stopped into the hospital and saw me. They were the only people that stopped by and said, you know what, how you doing? I know Ian couldn't come in that day because he had to go to hospital himself. He wasn't well. So, but Wendy did, and Wendy come on behalf of him and the family, and she's an amazing woman, and she's in for another tough battle. She's had very tough battles. Um, Breast cancer, the full nine, man. She has been battling, and our family, it seems like for a very long time, we've been under a major attack. We had our poor papa, Duncan Cameron. He dealt with cancer, and he sadly got struck down by that. But he is in a better place now, and I believe with all of my heart that Ian is in a much better place than he is here right now, and I believe he's with our beloved grandfather, our papa, and I think we can all be, rest assured with that, and be comforted by that he's with his father again, and that they are in a much better place, and that Ian isn't on his own. He's not in some other realm, and he's not on his own. He is with his father, and there's so many times where I sit back and go, oh, I miss Papa. What I'd do to see Papa. Ian's seen him right now, guys. He's with him, so be rest assured by that, and don't worry, don't think about thoughts that are going to get you worried about where Ian could be or what's going on. I know Mama had been worried a bit there, and she was like, oh, I'm worried about Ian because she's very spiritual, and she's a bit worried. But there was a thing where Papa had assured us, and he'd said, if you believe you're saved, then he said something about a scripture where if you believe, then your whole household's saved, and your whole household's covered. So I believe Ian was a great man. He really was. There's not enough that I can say that can justify how great of a man Ian was, and how much of an inspiration he was, not only to myself, but to a lot of people on this earth, to a lot of Western Australia. I've seen the tweets, man. Like, there's a few people that were wanting to get into journalism and get into broadcasting on the radio, and there was a young girl that had posted on Twitter saying, Ian gave me a shot, Ian tried me out. And I was like, wow, that's really cool. That's really awesome. And, like I said earlier, I've been dealing with my own health issues, and so had Ian been dealing with his. And that's the reason why he had to retire, because of his health. It was taking such a toll on him. And me with my health, I used to be doing a lot of short films, a lot of acting and directing, etc., etc. You guys know, you saw my channel. I used to do a lot of singing. But I've had to put a bit of it all to rest, guys, because I've been very unwell, and I've had to take a bit of a break because I just haven't been able to take the toll of putting out the hard work that it is to do these things. And for a long time there, guys, and you guys might not know this, but I was doing these projects, and I was doing them while I was very unwell, The last few ones I was doing while I was very unwell, and I was having to, shoot a scene, have a break, sit in my wheelchair, and kind of just suffering with these, you know, basically doing this project that I love to do and that I want to do and that I have a passion for, but paying the ultimate price after it and feeling very rottenly sick. Um, so I haven't been able to do films for a while, since at least I haven't been able to really get out of the house very well, properly, since October of last year. So it's been pretty difficult, been a tough run. So I've kind of had to spend a lot of time in the house, and I've had to just rest. And you know, I've tried to do things on my channel like gaming and other things to get people interested, and you know at least get some content out to the viewers. But it's tough because you can only do so much with gaming, and I know a lot of people love it. I know a lot of people liked and do like my gaming videos, but there's only so much you can do with it. It's gaming. It's not really that exciting, is it? I try to make it as entertaining as I can for the viewers, but there's only so much you can do. And so I thought, what else can I do? And for a while there in the past, I'd had ideas about doing radio, because of my uncle, and I was always told by my mother, you've got a good voice, you've got a deep voice for singing, you've got a very good deep voice for talking on radio, and maybe being a journalist. And I was like, well, I could give that a go, actually. I could try that out. And I did go to Albany 6VA radio, and I said a couple of years ago when I was 15, I said, my name's Baden Redshaw, I'm 15, because at the time I was 15. And I said, well, I am Ian Cameron's nephew, and I'd really like to give this a shot. I'd love to give radio a go. And they're like, oh, wow. I said, okay, well, give me 1 second. And the guy got up, he got out of his chair, he went and got these forms, gave them to me, he said, go down to Albany Community Radio and have a test run with them for a bit, try it out with them, and, they'll test run you, and if you do well down there, then we'll see about having you come up here. I tried out with the community radio for a bit there. I did a lot of test runs. They showed me the ropes for a while there. I was just about to head on to air, and then my health got a bit worse, so I had to go to hospital, and I couldn't, do the dates that I was supposed to do. And it was a shame, because I was looking forward to it. And, then I tried to do it again, and then my health got worse. I was like, I'm not even going to try anymore, because I keep trying, and then my health gets worse. And then it's just... And then I have these issues, and I've got to go to hospital, I've got to go to Perth, so I had to go back, forth. So I had to see cardiologists and all these other specialists, because I've got so many... Sorry, guys, multiple systems that are stuffing up. And, yeah. So I've had a bit of a difficult long run there, but I thought to myself, we're in a different age now. We're just in a different age, guys. We're in a different time where a lot of the time you can do things yourself. You can create your own thing. There's a lot of people that have their own things. Like, you look online, Jim Ross, former broadcasting journalist from WWE, is running his own podcast from his freaking house. He's running his own podcast from his house. And Chris Jericho, it's the same kind of thing. He's running his own podcast. It's all the same. They're doing their own thing. And I thought to myself, do you know what I could do on my own that doesn't require me going out? It doesn't require me doing any physical work or, moving around a lot. Because a lot of the issue is with my heart and everything like that. The moving around a lot, the exertion, it takes a toll. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to try and do this whole, podcast thing. I'm going to do it from home. And I'm going to, because I was watching Netflix at the time, and I was watching a movie called Dogfight, and I thought, and this is when I had the idea for it. I said, well, that guy right there, that Dada 5000 on my TV screen, I'm going to interview him. I told my girlfriend that, and she was like, oh, okay then. And yeah, I basically set it up and got it done by the grace of freaking God in heaven, man. He said yes, we'll do the interview with you. And I told him a bit about myself and what I wanted to do. And that was actually, coincidentally, it was the night before Ian had died, is when I did the interview. And I put the interview online the actual day that Ian had passed away. Ian had passed on later on to the evening, but I had the interview up and online in the morning. So yeah, it was a shame because I was trying to get an episode set up. The second episode, I wanted it to be Ian. I was talking to Mum about it. I was like, I'd really love to speak with my uncle because he's my uncle and he does this. He did this. It'd be great to speak with him about his career, his life, and have him be the second guest. And she said, yeah, I'll try and do that for you, babe, and I'll try and get it set up. And it looked like she told me she was going to get it done. And with Ian being in town, I thought it wouldn't be an issue, and I thought it'd be really great to do. But then I heard he passed away, and I was actually looking forward to seeing the guy while he was down here in Albany, because he was going to be here for 3 weeks. I was just so devastated. I was like, wow. He was going to be here for all these weeks and just spend nice family time, and this is what we get. And it was just... It's not a nice thing to have happen to you. Not at all. And since Ian has passed, it has fueled me a lot more. It has put more of a fiery passion in my heart to pursue this podcast show and to continue doing it, and to not only continue doing it, I want to do it in his honour. I want to have this whole thing, this whole journey that I'm doing, I want it to be a tribute to Ian and his wonderful career. And I want to start my own career. I want to start my own path. But I want to honour Ian and what he did in his life. It was cut so short. Ian had said in an interview, I feel so robbed by what my health has done to me. And I feel so robbed myself because I've been very unwell and I had to stop doing filmmaking, a lot of things. And, I didn't really go, okay, well, radio is my passion, but, certain things are my passion. And, family is one of them. Family is one of my main passions. My mother, my brother, my sisters, my father, my whole freaking family. I love them all. I do, with a major passion. Okay? And I'm probably one of the most loving people you can get out there. I love everyone, that's just me. That's my heart, I like to, just be an open, loving person. So, when I found out something like that happened, and, and I had come up with this new idea, it just fueled me even more, because I felt for Ian, and I had felt robbed for him, because I kind of feel I can relate to him because of the health issues, and feeling robbed in a lot of ways, and, because Ian was having to use a cane and all this stuff, and, when I was going out in public, I'd have to rely on a wheelchair, because my health was taking a major toll on me. And just so many issues. I used to be this person filled with so much life and, just so much energy. And then I'd had so many things taken from me. And I kind of felt like I could relate to him in a way. So, I feel there's a connection there. Even though I may not have been talking with him a lot before he passed away, or, being so close with him, I felt like I could relate to him a bit. And, I want to continue this journey of mine and this podcast show that I'm doing, and I want to do it for Ian, and I want to make the best damn show I can for my uncle's sake, and I want to do it for all of you as well, for the whole family, and for my YouTube viewers, and want to create a bit of a legacy and a bit of a name for myself, and just honour my uncle while I do it. So, yeah, I just hope the family stays well. We need to stay together. We need to look after each other, and we need to, we need to band up now, because this is a tough time. This is not a time to get bitter and get nasty at one another. This is not a time to close each other off. We need to stick together, and we need to love each other. So, that's what we need to do, and that's what I say that we should be doing. And I love you all. I hope you're all doing well, and I'm very sorry to Wendy and Jacinta and Jane and his closer immediate family. I'm just so sorry that this had to happen to you guys. I'm really sorry, and I'm sorry to his brothers and sisters as well, and I'm sorry to all the grandkids that loved him. I'm sorry to myself, because I miss the guy. But yeah, guys, I'm going to end this video now, and I just wanted to say that. I just wanted to say what I felt about Ian. I just wanted to say what I thought of him, and I just wanted to say that I'm dedicating the rest of my journey with this podcast all to him, and yeah, wish me luck. Alright, I'm not anything. I'm probably not even going to be anywhere near as great as him, because he's such an amazing guy, but I can at least try to create my own thing and create my own, my own creation, and that's kind of what Ian did. He was his own thing, and he was good at it. He was good at being him, and yeah, rest in peace, Ian. You are an amazing part of our family, and we'll miss you. Okay. God bless. All right. Peace.